Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 15. Again continued. Purushottama Yoga. Before I begin, I want to clarify one important point. One of my best friends called me from Delhi yesterday. Incidentally, his name is also Uddhavji. We all know Uddhav was a great devotee of Bhagavan Krishna. In fact, my friend Uddhavji was the main force behind my Bhagavad Gita. I don't know whether he knows this or not. I know this. He encouraged me a lot. He insisted me to put this in a particular group. He is an IITian, author of many books, and a professor also. He is a great singer. He is at present 85 years old. When you are friend with somebody, I am 60, 25 years difference. But when you are friend with somebody, age, sex, religion does not matter. When I was in Delhi, I used to attend Vasant Kunj Shaka. He gave me Swami Vivekananda's book, a wonderful book, as a gift. He made me read that book. And daily he will ask me, okay, you tell us what you read in that book. Give it by way of a juice of that book. That way he made me read the book also, entire book. And I also developed the skills of sharing my thoughts from that book. Yesterday he called me and said, there are two or more Swami Dayananda Saraswatis. He said, many people are thinking that when I say Swami Dayananda Saraswati, they are thinking that he is a Swamiji from Arya Samaj. It seems the name Dayananda Saraswati is very common in North India. Many Swamijis are there in the name of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. So I need to clarify here. Whenever I say Swami Dayananda Saraswati, people, especially in North India, they mistook him for another Swami Dayananda Saraswati from Arya Samaj. To be very honest, I do not know anything about that Swami Dayananda Saraswati who belongs to Arya Samaj. The Swami Dayananda Saraswati I quote belongs to Harsha Vidyapith. There are two ashrams, one in Anaikatti, Coimbatore, and another in Rishikesh, very near to Haridwar. The present video, today's video, will have his photograph. To avoid any confusion, which Swamiji I am quoting. I am taking the juice from Swamiji's books, and as far as possible, 99% I give as it is. 1% I may change the words or cut down the passages. Because Swamiji goes very deep into it. I am thinking for my level. If I understand this much, that is enough. So I am not giving the entire thing what he has given. I am taking the juice. For my level, I think that is enough. So I am giving that portion alone. I think Swamiji will forgive me for that. So Swami Dayananda Saraswati has attained Mukti, and his Samadhi is in Rishikesh Ashram. So I want to clarify that point first. Now, verse 15. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivittaha mattasmridirjnanam apoganam cha vedaischa sarvairagamaeva vedyaha vedanta kritveda videva chagam. Yesterday, I said I want to share some of my thoughts, however worthless they may be. So you can decide now itself it is worthless, but still I want to share. I feel a necessity to share them with all humbleness. When I say I, it is not the ego I, but something in tells me, say you share your thoughts also. Don't think I am boasting about myself. I have already said several times I am as good as you are and as bad as you are. I am only trying to move from imperfection to perfection by using the best available uh, knowledge, Bhagavad Gita. So, we have seen the wonderful explanations of Swami Dayananda Saraswati and Swami Chinmayananda in that verse 15. When Bhagavan says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivittaham, Swami Dayananda Saraswati said, having entered as Atma in the living beings. Swami Chinmayananda said, it is not physiological heart, but it is a metaphysical heart. I think it can also be taken as a physiological heart in which Bhagavan is sitting. The lub dub sound is because of the presence of consciousness in us. Bhagavan in the last verse said, I am the digestive fire in the stomach. In this verse, he says, I am the lub dub sound in your heart. As long as consciousness is present, the heart will be beating its own trumpet. The moment it leaves, then we will be taken away from the house. Consider this. There can be many people living without many parts of the body, not functioning. For example, some may live without eyes, some may be without hearing, some may be without smelling, some without legs, hands, etc. Every brain, even brain dead people, they can also technically live. You can keep them in ICU, they will be alive. But it is impossible. A heart dead person can live in this world. Impossible. Hence, I think it is also possible to take the view that Bhagavan Krishna, like digestive fire in stomach, is also the lubbed up sound in the heart. The only difference is you can touch your heart and hear the beat, or by holding the wrist, left wrist, you can feel it. Next is, who is the author of Vedas? Vedas contain two portions. We all of us know Karma Ganda and Jnana Ganda. Who is the author of both? If you go to any rishi, whether it is Vashishta, Valmiki, Vishwamitra, or any other rishi, and ask him, are you the author of Vedas? Immediately he will say, no, no, I am not the author of Vedas. All of them will say, I am the mantra drishta and not karta. That is, I found the mantra. I am not the creator, I am not the author. Even Vyasa Bhagavan says, I am not the author. I know Kali Yuga is going to come. People may not have time to study the Vedas. Hence, I only bifurcated the Vedas into four: Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharvana. That is what I did. I am not the author. In that case, who is the author of Vedas? Bhagavan Krishna in this verse authoritatively says, I am the author of Vedas. I am the Vedanta Krit. From me alone, Vedas came into existence. Like in every verse of Bhagavata or Bhagavad Gita or any other uh, uh, slokas or mantras, Bhagavan pervades. The entire Vedas is pervaded by Bhagavan Krishna. Bhagavan Krishna and Vedas are not different. Vedas are Bhagavan Krishna. Then when we ask memory, when we come to memory, because Bhagavan says Smriti, Jnanam, Apohanam, all of them come from me. Every animal, every bird, every ant has got memory and knowledge. It is not only human beings have memory and knowledge. Every insect has memory and knowledge. The cows that get out of the cowshed in the morning and roam around the roads like we roam the malls without any GPS, without asking anybody the route, it comes back to the same cowshed in the evening. It is not using any GPS. It is not using any, it's not asking which way to go, somebody. No, it is not asking. It clearly goes to the cowshed in the evening. We also have memory. If we do not have memory, we will enter our neighbor's house, and the neighbor's wife may chase us with a broomstick, with her broomstick. So I think the memory talked about here is not the ordinary memory, even though that is also due to the grace of Bhagavan Krishna and the presence of consciousness. Bhagavan must be saying something more than that. That is what I think. Now, we have seen Bhagavan Krishna is the author of Vedas. Then the question is, the author has to write the book in some form. The book has to be given for the others to read, study, understand, appreciate. Where to write the Vedas? Every book has to be written in some form. Bhagavan did not write Vedas in the books or on the leaves. Those days people used to write with a nail on the leaves, or on the rock also they may write. But Bhagavan found a novel way of writing it, because all the other things can be destroyed. Unlike other scriptures of this world, Bhagavan wrote the Vedas in the memory form in the mind. Vedas are stored in memory. Avayar says it is Eluda Kelvi, not written, but stored only in memory. How Vedas survived millions of years? You think? No books were there, not written on leaves, not written on the rocks. How it survived? Everything was stored in the memory. It was taught from memory. There were people who were Chadurvedis, Trivedis, and Dvivedis. If one masters all the four Vedas, he is Chadurvedi. Three Vedas, he is Trivedi. Two Vedas, he is Dvivedi. Everything was stored in memory. Kanchi Paramacharya deplores that now people have this title attached to their names, but they do not know the spelling of Vedas. Unfortunate. I can narrate one incident here, even though uh, it's a small incident, but I will narrate this. It's very important. I was a student of Vedas for some time under a guru. I studied under that guru, Aruna Prashnam, Rudram, Chamakam, Purusha Suktam, and other suktas. So when we finished Rudram and Chamakam, our guru took us to Shringeri Sharada Peetham, Karnataka, to recite the same in front of Shringeri Acharya, the present Acharya, the present senior Acharya. So he was thrilled to see some 30 students who were all working in different professions, interested in learning Vedas and learning it daily also. He wanted to hear our chanting. When when the Acharya saw 30 students learning as part-time Vedas, he was thrilled. So he asked us to chant. The moment he asked us to chant, we all had a bag. From that bag, we took a book out. And the moment he saw that, he laughed and said, "Oh, ippulla book potrukala." That clearly means, oh, they have started printing books for Vedas. That was the surprise. The Mantra Pushpam, the Ramakrishna mission's work in this case is extremely superb. I cannot comment. Superb book it is. Even though, because for the Acharyas, Vedas were not printed in book. They also always recite from the memory. Even today, Vedas in many ashrams are chanted from memory and stored in memory. Vedas were taught from the age of 7. The memory on the brain is not writing something on paper, but it is writing with a sharp nail on the rock. It remains forever. That memory is Bhagavan Krishna in the form of Vedas for millions of years. Kanji Paramacharya says, when something is written in book, then students may or may not hear the teacher properly. Slackness will come. They will think, the students will think, ah, whatever this fellow is saying, everything is in the book. Why he is boring? So I will myself read it later. I know English. So if there is a book, I will say I will read it later. For millions and millions of years, till today, Vedas are taught from memory, written in memory, and recited from memory. Unlike English language, pronunciation is very, very important in Vedas. Otherwise, it will have a directly opposite effect. It has got three types of uh, uh, accents: Udata, Anudata, and Swarita. Uh, for example, in Sri Shuktam, I'll just recite a small portion of Sri Shuktam. Om Hiranyavarnam Harinim Suvarnarajatasrajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jadaveto Maavaga Tam Maavagajata Vedo Lakshmi Manapagaminim Yasyam Hiranyam Vindeyam Gamashvam Purushanagam Ashvapurvam Radhamadhyam Hattinada Prabodhinim. So, if you see that the in some places the voice will go up, some places it will go down, some places it will remain at the normal level. Sometimes people like me, when they learn Vedas in the old age, their head alone will go up and down, but the voice will be remaining the same. So, the point which I am trying to make is everything with precision, perfection. It is taught from memory, stored in memory, and recited from memory. Bhagavan says that memory is myself, that is me, because he is in the form of Vedas. Then, what is knowledge? Every ant, Smriti we have seen, now Jnanam. Every ant, every bird, and every animal has got knowledge. Who gave that knowledge to those ants, birds, and animals? Once a ant proved that it is more knowledgeable than Einstein, you may be surprised. It may be an imaginary story, but an interesting story. Einstein's wife, wherever she kept sugar, hands were coming and eating or taking the sugar crystals away. So she got annoyed. Whatever method she tried, everything failed. Einstein could not prevent them in spite of his knowledge on physics. If you are good in something, you will be bad in all the other things. They had a 7-year-old baby. It thought like Einstein and wrote on a small piece of paper salt and another paper sugar. It pasted the salt in the sugar can and sugar in the salt can, salt box. It thought the ant will get cheated. It will enter the salt box and will find taste is not sweet, and then it will move away. The next day morning, early morning, he got up. Einstein got up and went into the kitchen. So he made a tea. First time in the universe, he made a tea with salt because he thought he took it from the sugar can. The baby has put the salt there. So he made first salt tea. But the ants were correctly going to the box containing the sugar. Who gave that knowledge? Bhagavan Krishna. Every animal, every bird, every ant has got some knowledge. Further, there is no knowledge which is not there in Vedas. Vedas is the book for all dharmas and all knowledge. Kanji Paramacharya says, a Brahmin is supposed to read all the Vedas and become an expert in all the fields. The one condition is, he is not supposed to use his expertise for his living, for making his living. He can teach others and make them have a living. There is nothing which is not there in the Vedas. There is a wonderful story in the life of Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara was given the Sarvajna title, all knowing. That title was given to Adi Shankara. So he was walking on the road. A shoemaker approached him and asked him, "What? Everybody is saying you know everything. That means you know everything. Do you know how to stitch a shoe?" He asked Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara smiled and took the needle and thread from him. Then he put the thread on his left nose, very near to the nostril, and rubbed the thread up and down. The moment the shoemaker, it is a practice of the shoemakers those days that they used to put the thread near the nostril and uh, move their fingers up and down on the nostril. The moment he saw that, the shoemaker realized he knows. Adi Shankara knows everything. He fell at his feet. So, from as small a job as that to Brahmastra, what is Brahmastra? Today, the drones, the ballistic missiles, they put a computer as artificial intelligence. They put a place, capture a place, and then they send it from some other continent. It directly goes and hits. Now, what a wonderful technology. What is Brahmastra? Same technology. It was there in Vedas, but it is not taught to everybody because otherwise it will become dangerous. So every knowledge was available in Vedas. The knowledge of all knowledge, that is Tattvamasi, is also taught in the Vedanta portion of Vedas. Bhagavan says, I am that all knowledge, Tattvamasi, by which one can free himself from the shackles of samsara. That is what I think when he says, I am the knowledge, I am behind the knowledge. Then what is forgetfulness? Divine consciousness, when it entered into the body, because of the ego, the body mind sense complex, it completely forgot its true nature, divine nature, and became a limited being. Ego, because of our ego, we feel we are limited. It is again a play of Bhagavan Krishna only. The same limited being, to again become or reclaim its divine nature, has to forget its ego, the vanities, the body, the body mind sense complex, to regain its divine nature. Bhagavan says that forgetfulness is myself. A person will be able to sleep only when he forgets everything, whether he is a king or a beggar. As long as thoughts are roaming around in your mind, you cannot sleep. Similarly, as long as any ego sense is there, that I am an expert in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or I know all the Vedas, I can chant from my memory, or any other thing, then that person is 100 crore janmas away from Bhagavan Krishna. The day on which he forgets, Hare Krishna, I don't know anything. I am sorry. It's all your blessing. That I forgot. The moment he realizes this, he is very close to Bhagavan Krishna. That forgetfulness is Bhagavan Krishna. That is what I feel. Who is to be known through all the Vedas? Bhagavan says, Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyaha. I am the one to be known through all the Vedas. All the Vedas show me alone as the goal to be reached. Then, who is the author and knower of Vedas? Author is already seen. Knower of Vedas also Bhagavan Krishna. Because as a divine consciousness, when it is there, then only you can know the Vedas. Forgot your divine nature, and through memory, that is Vedas, you get the knowledge, that is Tattvamasi. The self in me is nothing but Bhagavan Krishna, and attain freedom. So Bhagavan said, I am in the heart of living beings. Bhagavan Krishna in my heart, who became a limited individual due to delusion. It's a projection of the mind. Through memory, knowledge, and forgetfulness, all again are Vedas. Realizes that divine consciousness in me, that is, the divine consciousness in me is nothing but Bhagavan Krishna or Brahma, whatever way you call it. The starting point is Bhagavan Krishna in me. He is present as an Amsa of Bhagavan Krishna is present in me, in all living beings. Sarvasya Jaham Hriday Sannivishtaha. He is present in me. The path is Vedas. That is Bhagavan Krishna. Who is the author of that path? That is also Bhagavan Krishna. The techniques, memory, knowledge, forgetfulness, they are also Bhagavan Krishna. What is the final goal to be reached? That is also Bhagavan Krishna. That is what he says in this verse. That is what I think. Verse 15 again. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivittaha matta smritir jnanam apoganam cha vedaischa sarvairaghameva vedyah vedanta krit veda videva chaham. As already cautioned, this came to my thought and I shared. It has no support from the acharyas. So anyway, the pure cow's milk has been given yesterday without adulterating it. Hence, even if one ignores this, the unadulterated milk is always available to drink. That is what I want to say. Next verse we will see tomorrow. Harihom Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Narayan 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 Narayan